Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today I'm explaining how much money my very first rental property should make me over the next 30 years. So before we get into the numbers, I just wanted to explain that obviously these are only projections and there's no way for me to really predict the future and what's going to happen in years to come in the real estate market. But I did use historical market averages to calculate my projections. So theoretically, my projections should be pretty close to how much my very first rental property should make me. So first, let's talk about how much cash flow this rental property should make me. Cash flow is monthly income that I will receive because the renter will pay me an amount greater than what it cost me to own that property every single month. My first tenant just signed the lease and I have the property rented out for $2,500 a month. My monthly cost on the property is $2,300. In the beginning, the property will only make me $200 a month in cash flow, which is equal to $2,400 per year. But historically, rental prices increase about 5% every year. Also, my monthly costs will also increase every year because homeowners insurance, property tax, maintenance cost will all increase every year, as well as I may experience some vacancy. So now let's take a look at this monthly cash flow chart that I created. It shows what I'll make in monthly cash flow from year 1 to year 30, and I did it in 5-year increments. The next line is going to be monthly rental income. It starts at $2,500 because that's what I just rented the house out for. And that increases by 5% every year. So that's how I calculated these numbers, where year 5, it'll probably be renting for about $3,200. And as you go down the line until year 30, rents out for $10,800. The next line is going to be monthly cost. Right now my monthly cost is $2,300. And that's going to increase every year because homeowners insurance, property tax, maintenance cost, and also there may be some vacancy costs that I incur. So every year my monthly cost will increase. So it starts at $2,300, and by year 30 it could be all the way to $6,200, give or take. And then the bottom line is monthly cash flow, and that's just where you subtract the monthly rental income that I'm going to receive from the monthly cost, which I will pay out to the bank to pay off the loan. So year 1, you can see I will make $200 per month in monthly cash flow. And then as you go down the line, this gets larger. By year 10, I'll be making $1,300 in monthly cash flow. Year 20, $3,200 in monthly cash flow. And year 30, a whopping $6,200 in monthly cash flow. So now let's look at the annual cash flow chart. This is set up the same way. It just converts everything from monthly to annually. So the top line is going to be the years, year 1 to year 30 in 5-year increments. The next line is annual rental income, then annual cost, and then annual cash flow. So this is year 1. This year I will collect $30,000 in rent, and it will cost me $28,000 to own the property. So therefore I'm going to make $2,000 in passive income annual cash flow. And as you can see, the longer I hold the property, the more money I make. So by year 10, this property will make me $16,000 in annual cash flow. Year 20, I'll make $40,000 in annual cash flow. And year 30, I will be making $75,000 in annual cash flow. So every single year that I own this property, I will make more and more and more money in cash flow because the market rent will inevitably increase. The next way that this property will make me money is through something called appreciation, and appreciation is simply the increase in the property's value over time. Real estate appreciation rates change every single year because they are strictly dependent upon the current state of the U.S. economy and the U.S. real estate market. But considering the great location of my first rental property, it should have a fairly high appreciation rate. The average annual appreciation rate for real estate in this area is probably around 7%, but I'm going to use 5% to be a little more conservative to show you the numbers for this rental house. So now let's take a look at this appreciation graph that I set up for the house. On the bottom, you see this covers a 30-year span, so year 1, year 10, year 20, and year 30. And on the left, we have property value, which is in the blue. We have equity, which is in the green, and then we have debt, which is in the red. So property value starts at $305,000 because I just got the property appraised to obtain the cash out refinance on the property, and it appraised at a value of $305,000. I kept 25%, which is $77,000. I kept that in equity in the house, and then they gave me a loan to repay the mortgage off monthly at a value of $228,000. So right now, The house is worth $305,000, and it will appreciate every single year at an estimated rate of 5%. And what that calculates to, by year 10, it will be worth $500,000. Year 20, it will be worth $800,000. And by year 30, it will be worth $1.3 million. The green is equity. Right now, I have $77,000. By year 10, I will have $300,000. By year 20, I will have $665,000 in equity. And then obviously, year 30, when the loan is completely paid off and the property has appreciated to a $1.3 million value, I will have the full $1.3 million in equity. So these numbers may seem a little unrealistic to you, and to be completely honest, there's a chance that they may be a little high, and there's also a chance that they may be even a little low. But just think back to whenever your parents or maybe your grandparents purchased a piece of property back in the late 1900s for maybe $50,000, and today it's worth $500,000. The same thing applies to my first rental home that has a value of $300,000. At some point in the future, it's probably going to be worth over $1 million. So this is my very first rental property, and I plan to grow my rental portfolio very, very fast. So if you like home building, real estate investing, and making money, then make sure to hit the subscribe button below.